So, hello my dear students, today in this video we are going to learn what are quadrilaterals and what are the basic parts of the quadrilateral. So here we go, let us start. Yes, so what are quadrilaterals? Quadrilateral is defined as a flat shape with four sides, okay, and quadrilateral means four-sided because the meaning itself like quad, has been made with two words quad and lateral. So quad means four and lateral means side. So any four-sided shape is a quadrilateral, but the side should be the side should have the side should be straight, okay, and it has to be two dimensional, like 2D figure, because like there are so many shapes which are made up of straight lines and with four sides, like we have cuboid and all, but they are not meant to be, they are not said to be quadrilateral because they are 3D figures, okay. So in quadrilateral we are just considering the 2D shapes. So here we have some parts of the quadrilateral, that is, first of all let us see there are four sides in a quadrilateral. Any quadrilateral four sides like AB, BC, CD and DA. There are four angles, angle A, angle B, angle C and angle D. And there are two diagonals in each quadrilateral. That is, diagonals means the lines which are joining the opposite vertex of any figure. Okay, so these are the basic parts of the quadrilateral. Now let us see what are adjacent sides. So adjacent sides in a quadrilateral ABCD, two sides DA and AB having a common endpoint A are called adjacent sides. Here we have two lines, two sides DA, or we can say it's AD, and this is AB. Okay, so they have a common point, that is A, common endpoint, that is A. That means side DA and AB are adjacent to each other. Similarly, if we say point B, so AB and BC are adjacent to each other because they are sharing a common endpoint B. Fine. Similarly, here D is a common point with AD and DC. So AD and DC are also adjacent sides. So there are four pairs of adjacent sides in each quadrilateral. Now next is opposite sides. So what are opposite sides in this quadrilateral ABCD? AD and BC are the opposite sides. Okay, AD and BC are the opposite sides. Similarly, AB and DC are the opposite sides because they are not sharing any common endpoint between them. Next is adjacent angles. So earlier we have studied adjacent sides. Now we are seeing adjacent angles. So what are adjacent angles? Two angles of a quadrilateral having a common side are called as adjacent angles. Like angle A and angle B. Angle A and angle B, they have a common side between them, that is AB. So the angle A and angle B are said to be adjacent angles. Similarly, when we talk about this, DC is a common line between angle D and angle C. So angle D and C are said to be adjacent angles. So whenever we are hearing this word adjacent, that means it should have something common. So if we are talking about adjacent angles, so it should have common side between them. And when we are talking about adjacent sides, that should have adjacent common angles between them. Okay. Now let us move to the next part. The next part is opposite angles. So opposite angles, two angles of a quadrilateral that have no common arms. So opposite means that should not share anything in common. So opposite sides also were like this, opposite to each other, they are not having anything common in between. Similarly, opposite angles also, like angle A and angle C are opposite to each other, angle B and angle D are opposite to each other, they are not sharing anything in between them. Next are the points interior region, exterior region and on the boundary of a quadrilateral. So interior region means the region inside the quadrilateral is called the interior of the quadrilateral. So here we have what are the points which are inside the quadrilateral? The point, yes, U, V and P. The point U, V and P are known as the interior points of a quadrilateral, of this quadrilateral. Exterior region, the points which are exterior, the points which are outside, that is point S and point R. Don't think that point B, C, D and T are also written outside, or they are exterior. No, they are not exterior. We are talking about the point. This is the point. So the name of this point is R. So that means point R is the exterior. This is the point, and the name of this point is S. So this is the exterior. Okay. Now they what are on the boundary? The point which lie on the boundary are said to be on the quadrilateral. Like this is the point T. It is lying on the boundary of this quadrilateral. So that means T is on the boundary. Similarly, all the corners. This is also point C. It is on the boundary. Point B on the boundary. Point A on the boundary. And point D on the boundary. I hope you have understood interior, exterior, on the boundary concept of quadrilateral. Now let us move to the next concept, that is the angle sum property of a quadrilateral. So what does angle sum property of a quadrilateral state? That angle sum of property of a quadrilateral is said that the sum of all the angles of a quadrilateral is 360. Whether it is a small quadrilateral, big quadrilateral, it is a rectangle, it is a square, it is a trapezium, anything it is there, but the sum of all the angles should be the sum of all the angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degree every time. So this is the angle sum property of the quadrilateral. Sum means like when we are drawing any quadrilateral, suppose here we have a quadrilateral UADQ. So their sum, their total angle D plus angle A plus angle U plus angle Q should be it's also always equal to 360 degree. Now let us see the other types of quadrilateral, that is convex and concave quadrilateral. So what are convex quadrilateral, children? Convex quadrilateral means a quadrilateral is called a convex quadrilateral if the measure of each its angles is less than 180. Okay, so angle A should be less than 180, angle D we have to measure with the protractor. So when we are using protractor and when we see that all the angles are less than 180 degree, that means they are known as the convex quadrilateral. What are concave quadrilateral, children? Concave means when we have, yes, a quadrilateral is called a concave quadrilateral if measure of at least one of the angle is more than 180 degree. So here we can see easily the measurement of this angle, this one angle, angle P is more than 180 degree. Okay, so that's why this quadrilateral is known as concave quadrilateral. One more thing I can tell you, children, whenever we are joining two opposite points, opposite angles of a quadrilateral, we get a diagonal. Like here in the previous figure, let me talk about here, this one where we have joined A and Q. We have got a diagonal here AQ, and U and D. UD is a diagonal. So whenever we are saying, by only visualizing that to quadrilateral, we can easily find out that whether it is a concave or convex, because convex quadrilateral always have the diagonals inside the figure, inside the quadrilateral itself. So the diagonals are inside, but if you see the concave one, see the diagonal is here outside the quadrilateral. So wherever we have the concave quadrilateral, the diagonal will be, one of the diagonal will be outside of the quadrilateral. But in this chapter, in this class, we will deal with only with the convex quadrilaterals. Okay, children. Now let us move further. So here we have, yes. So angle sum property we were discussing earlier also. The sum of all the angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degree. Okay. That means, see, when you see this one quadrilateral, we have a number 100. This angle is 100 degree, 100 degree, 110 degree and 50 degree. So when we add all these numbers, we get 360 degree. Similarly, here we get 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90. So all are 360 degree. So try drawing a quadrilateral and measure the angles. They should add up to 360. That will be interesting for you. Okay guys, thank you for this. Thank you for watching the video, and do the given worksheet. Thank you. Bye bye.